Letecia Stauch. Record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. When we took our break, we were in the midst of the cross-examination of Dr. Lewis. That's where we will resume. Mr. Young.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we'll play People's Exhibit 732, which is the interview that took place on November 16th, 2022 with Dr. Lewis. We're going to start it at 55:30 and end it at 102:37.
About 30 minutes.
And it's about 7 minutes. 55:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. Okay, go ahead.
Again, not me, but someone else could take over and hurt someone, and that's not where I want to be. Yeah, because I don't want to do that. Like, that's not. So like, why these are it's so intense. But yeah, what you're I gotta say, it's for good intentions, though. You know, it's not like it's just some random person who don't cause problems. You know, it's for good. No, maybe it doesn't look good for some people, but it's for good. It's for someone. For me, have you ever really got into a pretty bad fight or we're going to take it over? It's really bad, but having away. What's happening now? What's going on here in that? Can you see? I am not violent. I am not violent. I am not a violent person. Well, I am not violent at all. But I am not going to let people be tucked into bed. So I'm not going to let people be hurt because I don't do this to me. Okay? If someone is trying to hurt people, I'm going to make sure they're okay. Because that is what I do each and every time. I'm going to always make sure that people are going to be okay. So I don't look. Could you just let me understand why I'm always being asked what is going on in here? Because this is my job to do things for people and to protect them. Because it's what I have to do. That is who are the protector. I'm going to always do that because if people are molesting kids and people are hurting kids, this is what I do for them. And if people are hurting elderly people and people are always doing this to people, this is what I'm going to do. And when people are inside your home or inside my home, I'm going to protect them. Do you understand that? Just understand that. But you don't believe what thing. So protect. Where do you go when you protect? Can you look at me now? Do you know where? Do you know where you are? Where? Do you know where you are? Yeah. And what have I talked to? Taylor? Taylor? Did you say? And I'm frustrated. Taylor, do you know what just happened? Yes, ma'am. What? Yes, ma'am. What just happened? You asked me about my grandpa. I asked you to grandpa. Oh, we were talking about Fred. It's Fred here. Prison though. Yeah, he did work at a prison. I think it was in Lumberton, North Carolina. Where? Lumberton, North Carolina. Yeah. But do you know what just happened with you? No. Somebody really said she. Then I spoke with someone who said, I protect them. I always protect them. I don't pay anything. Oh, sorry. Sorry. What did you say? Oh, I don't know. I just think who is the protection? Oh, sorry. I don't get it. I was saying sorry. I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about credit. That's what I remember. You told me that it was a different kind of space.
things. Who would be the protector?
Oh, my protector is Maria.
Maria, I don't think very much to talk with you.
If you want to talk to Maria, I don't know. Sometimes she'll talk, sometimes she won't.
Whatever it is. I love it for you. Tell it.
Yeah.
Tell it. You will listen to that. Tell, where is the special place you go when, say, Maria is in love?
I like to go hang out and drink some wine and be by the beach and hang out and find work.
Well, I would like to go there and let me come with Maria. And we'll do it again. But now I'd like you to go to a special place, and Maria, I need to talk to you. Because Maria, you have a lot of control. Is that correct?
I think she does, for sure, but
I need to talk with you.
yeah.
I know you can hear me. And you know what I am.
Okay, we paused it at 1 hour and 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Do you mind if I turn you around, Dr. Lewis?
No.
Okay, here we go. Is this the magic you were talking about yesterday?
Well, that was the joke. Technique in which we learned how to get to talk self with patients themselves by Mark Elvin. He did get to this old day or used hypnosis much. Whether it's known that dissociative individuals are very suggestive. So you always that's this. So if you're talking with a kid or with somebody who has a problem, let's say, what do you suggest that we trust her, that we are find out more?
Mhm.
You know, we try not to say separate aspect of you. And we learned, and this is not only from aggressive patients, but from a product. That is, that by and large, they have a special place because it is known that, say, there are 3 or 4 individual entities. Sometimes they can hear what's going on if you're. Sometimes they don't. And what we learn from our patients is to simply, what happens to you? Where do you go? Where do you go? When I'm talking to so-and-so, Maria, where do you go? What about a special place? When you have a special place?
And let me start, I get that. That's why you're asking at the end, tell me about your special place, so that the persona that you think is Maria comes out.
If you like, someone can say, there is no special, I don't have a special place, but when it is very common.
But when we started the video, Maria came out, right? The protector. That's the first time in the entirety of your interviews with Ms. Stauch that you think Maria comes out.
I don't recall if that is. You've watched it more than I don't know if that was the first time, but
Well, and
I
let me
know that she existed, and I did want the opportunity to learn more because I suspected that if indeed that perhaps it was in the guise or in the wanted to talk to the.
But you didn't do anything to have Maria come out. She just came out and started talking to you, right?
Sometimes
Well, that's what happened in the video, right?
I watched kind of carefully, and I think I said, I really would like to talk to Maria. Very commonly, but at the beginning,
And was that the Russian accent that we heard on there that you were talking about?
I don't know, that appeared, and I'm not sure whether that is typically Maria or it's an entity or it's a combination. These are not well-defined, well-distinct.
Well, she said she's the protector, and you followed up and said, hey, we just talked to the protector. And then
Well, she said.
can I finish my question, please? And then she says, well, yeah, Maria's my protector.
Yeah.
And then I'm Taylor. That's what she just said,
That's
right?
right, yes,
And there was no accent when the protector was on there, right?
right,
She was speaking just like she speaks all the time.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not sure what the point was.
the point is she didn't have an accent when she came out as Maria. That's the point, right?
You're not dealing with logic. It doesn't have, it does, this is not a total different unit. Not a consistent person who remembers it or who you would always be a certain way.
How do you know she's not fooling you? How do you know that?
Well, watch, listen, see what is consistent, see what isn't. Is there any benefit? Because so far, speaking with a Russian kind of accent, not really Russian words, advantage, disadvantage, something.
Well, here's the benefit. Let me explain it to you, okay? You want consistency in your persona. If you want to say Maria comes out and speaks in a Russian accent, she should come out and speak in a Russian accent.
You should have.
Is that logical?
Logic. It is not logical.
Okay.
They are as logical as dreams.
So you handed her a piece of paper and asked her to sign her name.
Yeah.
What happened to that piece of paper?
Not that I had anything that I will certainly find it for you.
Oh, wait a minute here. You just told the court
But-
that you don't have these documents, that you lost them. That's what you just...
There's probably, this is probably it.
Your Honor,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have you step out in the hallway back to the jury room, please. Stauch record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. Mr. Young?
thank you, Your Honor. Dr. Lewis, we just took a break, and Mr. Cellini and I just went through all your notes that you had here in the courtroom. Is that right? Having gone through those notes, we see no documents that you were using during the course of this interview with Ms. Stauch, correct?
Not yet. You know, because I don't know what there is. There, in terms of those, of that interview, if you have the whole thing, you will see those documents in the,
Let me just ask you a simple question. Do you have those documents that you used in the interview with Ms. Stauch, yes or no?
I gave them to you, yeah. They are there, but they haven't.
You know, at this time, I'm going to ask that the court take judicial notice that Mr. Cellini and I went through those stacks of notes, and none of the notes that she's referring to are in the stack of notes that she has in the court.
Mr. Tellini? It's not a judicial notice thing. It sounds like it's a stipulation.
There is the complex figure drawing that has not been referenced, that were notes that was a document that was turned over to this attorney, and that was in there. And I think that's a little bit of is having as far as the signatures or the alleged.
Okay.
Over there.
All right.
I would accept that stipulation. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Lewis. You know the importance of turning over notes that you use in a forensic interview, especially in a homicide case. What did you do with those notes that we just talked about, where you had Ms. Stauch sign something?
Whatever she signed there, what I had was turned over to Cellini to be copied and shared with you.
I approach a witness.
Oh, yes, you may go ahead.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked as People's Exhibit 735. Have you taken a moment to look at that document?
This is not, this is a different patient with, but you have a question about it.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Sure. Do you
Because
recognize that People's Exhibit 735?
I recognize that it was a communication of mine to this, to
An email between you and Mr. Cellini, correct?
the best of my knowledge.
And does that document accurately reflect that email that you had with regards to the EEG that we talked about yesterday, and whether or not you had knowledge that you were withdrawing your request to have an EEG done?
To my mind, it was not simply dropping it, it was saying, this is not right.
Dr. Lewis, just answer my question.
I-
Does the document accurately depict the email exchange between you and Mr. Cellini with regards to your knowledge of whether an EEG was withdrawn? Yes or no?
Whether it was, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the.
Withdrawn, your request for an EEG?
It was not a permanently withdrawn thing. It was saying right now.
No, I'm going to ask you to direct her to answer
Dr.
my
Lewis,
question.
the question is simple. Is this an email that you sent to Mr. Tellini? Yes or no?
Yes, it is sent to him, but.
Mr. Young?
We move to admit People's Exhibit 735.
No objection.
Exhibit 735 will be admitted. Go ahead.
And did you say in that email, go ahead and withdraw the EEG? We'll address it at a later time.
I said, and now, if we could address it later, this did not mean it's not important. It was just organizing in my head as most important. Like, that became less important than something else.
Well, the email speaks for itself, doesn't it? You're dictating in the email why you didn't think it was important at that time.
Well, I'm saying that there are other things have arisen that we should also address.
So why did you yesterday blame the attorneys that you didn't know anything about the EEG being withdrawn?
I did not consider this withdrawing it permanently, but simply, I did not wish to fight with the court over, are you getting this, are you not? The court refused to get it, and I say it can be addressed again. But I did not think of it as a withdrawal.
Listen to my question carefully.
Yes,
Why did you yesterday tell this jury that you never requested to withdraw the EEG, that the attorneys did it, never told you anything about it?
because I did not request to withdraw it. I said you could kind of wait and do it, and I did not think that they had.
Can I retrieve your document from you, please? This is what you said in your email, and you can explain what it means after I read it, okay? I have been reading more on Letecia, and I think we should drop the EEG request. What does that mean to you?
Rest of it, know the timing of it, and know what I was thinking about at that time that was most important. But this was not something that I was supposed to, I can't possibly assist you if you don't have this. I think I think we should have it, but we can wait. Get it later. In fact, it may be, I could be mistaken, but I believe that Mr. Tellini had said to me, there will be appeals on this.
You know, I'm going to ask that be.
Your Honor.
Dr. Lewis,
It gets-
I'd like, Dr. Lewis, please stop.
Wait. One at a time. One at a time. Dr. Lewis, please confine your answer to the question being asked. Mr. Tellini will have an opportunity to ask you questions on redirect. And if there's anything that he thinks you need to bring up, he can bring it up then. But just confine your answer to the question being asked. And Mr. Young?
Your Honor, I'd ask that what she just said be stricken, that the jury be instructed to disregard it.
Mr. Tellini? All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're instructed to disregard Dr. Lewis's response to Mr. Young's most recent question. Mr. Young?
We're going to play the next video, okay? Would you like me to turn you around towards TV? Okay. And so for the record, we're going to play People's Exhibit 732. We're going to start at 1 hour and 7 minutes and 8 seconds and end it at 1 hour and 40 minutes and 8 seconds. So this is roughly 33 minutes. And so we're going to play it continuously through, Dr. Lewis. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll ask you some questions when it's over, okay?
Date of it again, please.
It's November 16th in the afternoon, 2022. Sorry, we got the screen.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
My initials there. And who said that? She said that she didn't know who you were. Who was it? Okay. Because you didn't know who was Taylor.
I didn't write that.
You did not read it. Let's see. You said Hardin and Taylor, but I can let her know. Yeah, there was just some T there, baby TA, it's also a file, right? And here is a picture, right? This with a lefty,
Letecia. Letecia.
that is Letecia. And so, Taylor, that's what we said with you.
No, it's Letecia.
This, she's a lefty.
So you said you need to talk to Letecia as well.
Yeah, but, Did you see where that? Yeah. Okay, and then she said, just want to say the left hand, because, you Taylor, right? Just, you be interrupted. And he said, Taylor, I'm ready to go. Okay, I am, two, oh, I don't need to play there. One on. You're important. Important. And each of you, seems to believe you. Yes. So, yes, it's not. As Maria said, she will go in on her terms, but don't think that she answers to anyone. Who said that? Was that, doesn't he? So Maria said she on her terms, but don't think that she answers to anyone. Letecia can only talk to her.
Not me.
But you'll never talk to her.
Yeah.
So here's
Yeah, but that's what I can't tell what to do. But she can, because I don't curse and do bad things. You see what I mean? I don't curse and do bad things. I don't live into that world. So, yeah, so that's why
you said, I need to talk with Maria because I think that Maria knows a lot more what happens than Letecia.
right, so like, because I'm good. I'm a good person. Sometimes I kind of like get in arguments. Maybe she is not. Because I like the good, not the bad. But Letecia is the bad. You see what I'm saying? They go a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Maria.
Yeah, because I do a lot more good. You see what I'm saying?
You do a lot more.
Yeah, she don't always agree with good.
Or what you think is.
Right, okay. Well, I just need to do good. Let's, do good to people, do right by me. Yeah. You think I think sometimes I work bad. No, I'm saying I think some things are good, you know what I mean? And so she
It's like good than anything else.
right. And so that's why sometimes she doesn't like talking to me.
Well, yeah, so seems to me that sometimes you think it's good. See, the strong do fight for things under your control, and then they don't see it's right.
I try to like be the mediator or try to be calm. Everybody else get along, communicate, do good to people.
What happens when you temper it's the best what happens to them?
And when you take over, and then takes away from like the good part of Taylor. You know, like the good part of Taylor is being like a good communicator, effective, you know, like not a bad tenant. I can communicate effectively with them.
You can help it too.
Like if they come to visit me and I'm as myself as Taylor, then I can sit down and talk to them and be like able to like be nice and be like, oh, okay, how you guys doing?
They don't even know it's you.
Oh, they come and they see I'm not like whatever, I'm not Taylor. Because then I'm just like, take me on. But then I'm not trying to be me, but then I can take it if they're like that.
I'm not scared of election. How straight are you with me? How honest are you?
I'm honest with you.
If anything you want to ask them, you're right. Well, you can change your mind. Maybe what happens?
Taylor.
No, talk to Maria Taylor, someone signed Taylor, and Maria, but it's not there. I hate Maria sometimes. Taylor, you see, explaining for stuff. You kind of go, where and this with you,
Taylor, right?
really Taylor, yes.
Okay. So what happened was, did you want me to tell you what happened? Or?
Sure.
Okay, so the night of January 27th, 2020, I had reported Gannon missing because he was.
You had not noticed.
I had.
So it's January 7th, 2000. So you reported that he was
Because I was calm at first, because I didn't think anything was wrong. I thought that he was just being like a hiding challenge and that he would be okay. And I thought that he would eventually come out of his hiding spot and he would eventually, everything would be fine. He wanted to have a bunch of followers on YouTube. So I thought that the whole practice circular. So I wasn't in a panic mode. I wasn't in any kind of like anxiety or
my kid.
not yet.
He was not there. Something had already happened.
No, nothing had happened to him.
But we saw that
After what?
after you were there.
Right. He was missing. He was already, yeah, he was missing, but nothing had happened to him. He was missing.
He was why was he missing?
Guess he was the house or he was hiding. I'm not sure.
That's why I need to go to Marie. I think all of you, and Ray haven't talked to everybody. Come to everybody. I think all of you have been covering for each other. And, you know, I think that you all want to, you want to do a TCM. But, actually, you're really preventing them from getting up. Not always have these kind of stuff like that. But I think you're afraid of telling what happened to Gannon. I'm pretty sure for reasons.
Should I tell you? You want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep going? Or?
Pretty much told you. Really? Really?
So as a speaker, I'm just keep going. But I'm just gonna keep going. So he was missing, and then I called everyone. I really started to panic. After a couple of minutes, that's when I started to get worried. Because I realized that it started to rain, it get cold outside.
And then after, when was the first one, maybe he was born. When he was dead. And I do something.
I did try to bring him back and started praying over him and trying to bring him back to life.
That when
He didn't come back to life.
he didn't, where was he lying?
Well, in my
In your arms. Where had you found her?
I don't remember where I found him. Just know that.
So you know he was in your arms. Oh.
If you don't understand why it's like that, it's like that. Because he wasn't supposed to die.
He was not supposed to.
No.
I didn't. No. What was supposed to? He was not supposed to die, no. So someone had made one person that she found something else.
No.
What was supposed to happen? What was the idea? What?
It was not supposed to be him.
It wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Was it supposed to be?
But then, no, it was him.
You didn't know. No, what did you think it was?
I'm not a monster. Okay. I'm not a monster.
Somebody any
I'm not a lesbian and I'm tired of people thinking that I'm just a mass murderer that just killed someone. I am not a scan.
okay.
Under no circumstances did I think you just can't have this.
Were you doing something to protect someone? Did you something what was your? Did it was something? Did it look like something?
Oh,
You know,
you don't know what it's like in my life. I have to see when I realized that it was Gannon. I never knew it was him.
what did you think it was? I don't know. Was reading.
Someone was in the home. You don't understand. Someone was in the home. Okay. Yes, they're in the home. Okay. Someone big. Okay. They're going to hurt everyone. Okay. They're going to hurt everyone.
Everyone,
That was in the home. Someone was going to hurt someone.
everyone was looking for something.
There was someone in the home. They were going to hurt everyone that was in the home. What I did was grab a gun. What did you do? All I did was grab a gun and fire a gun because it like someone was in the cage. Okay. So all I did.
All you did was grab the gun. And what happened?
I saw someone who looked like they were in the cage and I fired them. That's what I did. Okay.
All you did was
You
grab.
don't understand. I had to protect the people that were in the house. Okay. Because if someone was in the home, they were going to rape someone, they were going to molest them, they were going to kill them. I had to protect them. That's all I did. Okay. And I fired the gun. I did not know, didn't have a safety. I didn't know any of that. But that's what I do. I'm trained to do that. Okay. I'm trained to kill. Okay. I'm trained to kill. That's what I do. But trained to kill. I'm trained to kill. That's what I do. Trained to kill. Okay. That's what I do. I kill for a living. Okay. Anyone that tries to hurt someone, I'm trained to kill. Okay. That hurts the people that I care about. Okay.
So you killed 100.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. You didn't care.
Yes. And that's what I did.
What did you do?
I took the gun, I fired the gun at someone. They had a cape on, they looked like a dangerous man.
You fired at someone,
Yes, a dangerous man. Man, yeah.
you had, I
I am a dangerous man, okay? That's what I do. This is how I go.
this is how you old.
Yes.
Or was she fired the gun? And then,
That's what I did. Killed the man, okay?
yeah,
Who? They come to the home, that's what I do.
um,
I will get the people that I love. I always do that, okay? I don't understand their problem.
when did you realize it was not the person you thought?
I didn't realize anything. I left immediately.
I'm sorry.
I left immediately after I did my job.
You, I guess you're sick.
I left immediately after I did my job.
Okay. So what did you think you'd done?
Did what I was supposed to do.
Which is,
I killed the threat.
I know a threat.
The threat was there for Letecia and the family and for the threat.
They did so short.
Because Letecia and her family, they were missing and I had to protect them.
Who was this?
Letecia's family.
Really? Who was it?
Letecia's son was missing. To protect him, that's what I do. She was upset. Everyone was upset. Little baby girl was upset. Everyone was crying. That's what I did.
And then,
And then
you left her crying. What happened?
I left.
Well,
I don't know what happened after I left.
who did this?
You tried to turn this into police?
What?
You tried to turn it into police?
No, I'm not doing police. No. I'm just in trouble about it.
What do you want me to try? What do you want me to try?
Just read. Get ready. Maria Sanchez.
Maria.
Maria Sanchez. That's it. No. Maria Sanchez. Legend. Anytime you say, you know what I think? Right, I think you're saying with, you know, it's no value. You want to be almost invisible.
No. No. I have jobs to do. I do jobs that are
You do. Only what?
what is it?
You teach how to travel.
I work for them.
But
I always have perfect.
for which you traveled,
Who do you turn this information
plus the gypsy people.
to? I don't answer to that.
No, you don't answer to me. I'm just trying to, I want something to I think you tell, I don't think you would have thought to know I know too. I'm working my ass off to help with this. It's a very tough, you know. Because if you're kind of strong part of it, makes me so. This is very much. I don't know. Okay, I can say that not for you. Even my cabinets when I dress. Cabinets.
I don't pass them. I don't pass them.
You don't do that or you don't like them?
I don't pass.
You don't cats in LA. This is. Why don't you?
Just know me.
You just know. Does he ever?
Tuckers.
Are they?
Tuckers.
Times are they ever?
I have a strong hand.
You see it. I think we all have fantasy. But I'm strong. You know. I'm going to help my defend.
Do you need any cups for me?
You need anything?
Do you need any cups for me? Do you need anything else from me?
No. Absolutely. You helped. And you got rid of, well, look to you like something is menacing Letecia. You shot from the very beginning. And the person where it went down. And if they left. And
Job done. Correct.
job, well, the job wasn't really done, because as I understand it, I haven't seen.
And then I think about it.
How do you feel sort of not, never been,
I do whatever I can.
but in general,
Multiple times.
like,
To go.
yeah, so. What did you do?
So,
Well, you had to bring it, so, and I certainly not, I don't have any contacts in my stuff.
all right.
So you don't just work for the DC,
Okay. Then I had to protect her before Mexico.
you did,
I had to protect her before Mexico.
you did,
I did.
you protected boys. Wow, how old was she when you first started?
Well, my days is different than yours.
You're what?
My years are different than yours.
How old are you?
28.
You're healthy.
28. 28.
So she was without you. So 11 years old.
I'm always 28. I always look this way.
Yeah, she's very young. So for 11
My years are really different than yours. You cannot even comprehend my years. They're different. Don't even try.
imagine her mysticals.
Very different.
So did you protect her from the time you arrived, or what was that? What was happening to her when you protected her?
Who's going to do this information?
Please.
I don't see anyone else.
What?
I don't see anyone else.
I did not without her permission. Her permission means permission. And we'll do the talk about it. Are you guys game to talk about stuff and how you want to use the information that Maria is?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So they will do that. And I think I know these people don't agree. I think none of us here would ever do anything like, if we use this, these would only be in Letecia's favor to get Letecia's help and some maybe some education. We're probably going to use them. We're going to do that.
No, absolutely.
Yes. Take a look over there. Got a group there.
And I see right over there.
You always see that one? Yeah. Me too. Yes, you. Seriously, I don't get nothing told me. So, do you respond to thank you? You did very great yourself, Maria. Do you surprise yourself when you're spraying?
No, I'm very good.
You are, this is what I do. Well, you do it, I know you're very great to trust us. But we will only use what we talk about. And if it does not help, Letecia, I'm not going to.
Just stay there.
I think, honestly, we were pretty hard today. Do you think we should take a rest for maybe an hour or 2 o'clock? And let's come back into it. And let's look. Is it her? Sure. So we'll see you. 2 or 3. I do need the promise.
I don't need promises. I
You guys, I have a request. I would like you not to hurt anyone and to remain safe as home, but not hurt anyone. If you think there's something else, whatever, tell us. You'll only have me to tell today and tomorrow. But you have, do you know who they are? You don't talk to those people. Well, maybe later on, maybe you would come forward a little bit and let Maria meet you. Yeah. She doesn't just talk to him. I noticed only when I went with them, right when I talked with her, that she got a feeling. I hope it's really, was, I don't know, maybe asked and that, I don't know. But I would come back, and I would review myself. Yeah. I'm going to take a look at some. Maria, I have something that I'm very supposed to the lost in a room. I don't. Where is that? Yes,
Okay, the camera or the video stops at 1:40 and 08 seconds. Who was that other person that was leaving the room there, Dr. Lewis? Well, Mr. Tolini went out the door and then some gentleman with a mask on followed him out. Who was that person?
I don't recall, and
Can we just play that portion back? We're going to play the portion back. You can just look at this TV right here. Okay, we're not talking about him, Dr. Lewis. Please keep watching. Freeze it. Who's that person right there?
I don't recognize him,
That's not your son? You don't recognize your own son?
because he was running the camera, but I don't recognize.
Well, running the camera, Dr. Lewis. He's going out the door when the camera shuts off. What is your son doing in the interview room?
Particular interview, we had asked, when we had her, and, I'd asked her. Could have been. No, I didn't.
Is that recognized within the field of psychiatry to do forensic interviews with people who are charged with first degree murder and bring your son along?
Understand it. I here, cameras be on us, and that they be competent with that. And I had said I'd like to have them on. I think it was Josh who told me have to be.
Well, this investigator seated in the back courtroom was in there, right? Mr. Tolini was in there. Why was your son in there?
Was asked to run, if he knew how, and could he run the cameras?
Why did you stop the interview?
Entire. Seemed to try. Probably. Not at all.
Well,
You don't go on endlessly.
you spent a day and a half, hours of talking to her, trying to get Maria to come out. According to you, I'm assuming you're saying this is Maria who comes out that we see?
Here, I'm asking myself, who is this? If you look at the character they're talking, there are times that apparently she goes by Maria. Her expressions change. She looks different. She sounds different. She does different things. She protects. I think that there was a back and forth over how she perceived herself, what's going on in her head. But I think that there were times when we saw I don't think it was always Maria. I think that there were changes there as I watched as a clinician. There was not a consistent.
Okay, and so you're saying that Letecia could have came back and faked the Spanish accent while she was faking to be Maria? Is that what you're saying?
That is not a you did.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying. I don't think it's faked. I think that she switches back and forth, and her identity and who she is good.
What did you talk about after the camera was turned off, doctor?
I beg your pardon?
What did you talk about with Maria after the camera turned off?
I have no recollection of talking with her after the camera was turned off. No idea. I don't know for sure on the papers, but I can tell you sometimes if things seem that they're slowed down or that patient would be improved, sometimes I will write back and forth. Those were preserved, but I don't know who she was at different.
You didn't preserve those documents. We've already gone through. You did not preserve those documents that you see her writing on, did you?
I do not know. I'd have to look, but I don't have a recollection of having preserved them. They were kind of a communication device there, and I may, they may be there. It might be, and they may have been handed over. I don't have perfect memory of what happened to those papers.
Other serial killers that you've interviewed that you've diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, for instance, the ones that are on your HBO documentary, when you ask them to change personalities, they do. Some of them do the same neck roll thing.
What?
Do you remember that? And when they change personalities, they confess and they tell you how they did the killing, correct?
So when there is a real definitive kind of different, this is a fluid kind of, as I told you, not an on again, off again, perfect logical.
But what Maria says to you is mistaken identity. I didn't know it was Gannon. I shot the gun one time, correct?
Gee, someone says this, at another time, someone there with this very odd demeanor says, I'm there to protect them. I protect them. There is a fluid kind of.
Did she, doctor, just listen to my question carefully and just answer yes or no if you could, okay? Did she tell you that she mistaken identity, didn't know it was Gannon, fired a gun one time, did what she had to do? Or words to that effect?
Early on,
In this portion we just saw.
at the beginning, I believe at the beginning of the, then she's talking about other things, says it about defending and
And you know that's not how Gannon died. He didn't die from one gunshot wound, did he?
No.
Why didn't you confront her on that?
it does not make logical sense and not how you conduct psychiatric interviews. In fact, it's amateurish to say, oh, but you said this at that point, how come you're saying it now? This is amateurish work, if anyone does that. You have to then follow what is going on, and you saw in front of your eyes without asking anything, oh, her expression change. You saw what this person said changed. I take care of them. I hurt the people who are out to hurt them. And I have down here, as I'm looking at that thing, is this issue?
And Dr. Lewis, I just want you to respond to my questions, please.
I am
Okay?
trying to do that. I'm
Can
saying.
you listen to my next question, please? Robert De Niro did a pretty good job at that in the movie Cape Fear as well, didn't he?
No,
He didn't. Okay.
no, Robert De Niro.
Actors do a good job of acting, don't they?
No, Robert De Niro was not an outstanding, in fact, he was not dictating a multiple necessarily in his year. No, he did not do it.
Did he?
Again,
All right, I'm gonna-
but no, it was not a wonderful.
Can we agree to disagree on that? Please.
See the first game.
All right, we're going to go to the last clip, Doctor. Okay, and this is longer. This is going to be, I don't want to say, about an hour and 30 minutes or so. Okay, so are you comfortable there, or do you want to go somewhere else? This is going to be a longer clip.
5 minutes has water and.
We can get you a drink of water, and we're probably going to take a break in about 20 minutes. So find a
Okay, so
good place.
it will be a different.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to have the jury sitting there for all of this. So find a good place in about 20 minutes, and then we'll take our break there.
Sounds good, Judge. Thanks. And this is People's Exhibit 734. It's the afternoon of November 17th, 2022. It starts at 8 minutes and 23 seconds. And we're going to go to the end.
Find a reasonable breaking point.
Sure.
Would you say the TV on?
Oh, okay.
And this is the confession. They put it all on my name. This is unbalanced. I, Maria, confess.
It's not English.
Confesso bona para magna we say solemnemente. Acte gravit Letecia Stauch Maria se mea sana in conversano vetera desunt. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Well, what made you say the confession?
Because I saw
This is as an alaka confessor. I, Maria, confessor, we don't know what she's confessing to.
I know it's not just totally just exclamation like that. I'm like,
But hold on, did you ever take Latin in school?
no, I just figured it was that, just to be different in Spanish because of the way it's right back here in Cuba.
It's not Spanish.
Yeah, I knew it was not Spanish, but I
I know Spanish.
yeah.
We would be blessed. Indeed.
It's unfortunate.
So I said, maybe I did something. Maria, then Sana, Maria isn't, that's the same line, I think. It's not, then Sana in her son, it's son. Well, maybe kind of reason photocopy lunch. Because it does look as if she's saying, and I'm Maria, and in the same state of mind. Reclassified, in pace, rest in peace. Yeah. Maria, AKA, Letecia.
I don't know. I don't know.
We say defending, something about defending. And for us doing this is not taking out 20, which would be kind of a free.
You think a lot of languages.
Like saying French, so and we also sang the Requiem Mass and Requiem Mass, and that's not. I get by. Okay. So anybody here? No.
I don't know.
You was so nice.
All of that, that's Letecia, who's been here for a while. She keeps going back to her husband, she's not.
And the wife of that here.
She gets the domestic violence. Yeah. And I keep talking to her guys, she's like a young lady. The young, like the man who's sleeping in her house. Yeah, it was. I know, old she keeps getting in trouble because she gets to the what's from yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Well, it could have been fire. Oh, I always look at it. But yeah, that's but it's started partners, I think, from the mass, resting peace, right? That's what it is. But you believe that is a confession from Maria.
Well, I just looked at the one word, I thought it was the O.
Yeah, and confession.
That's the other rest.
Says that.
Well, because of that's why I say the UV was why I thought that would be different in Spanish because it wasn't.
That's so
Other than that, that's why it was Spanish.
she wants to go and try to teach me something that it's from wrong.
So I was thinking it was Spanish. I figured out something.
Do you think that Maria did it?
Well, I didn't.
See,
I remember it. And just had little flashbacks or what I mean.
what are the flashbacks?
Just remember blood
Yeah,
and
take from the appointment to the cave. Oh, okay. Tell me about the cave.
just remember seeing someone I hate. I remember seeing someone I hate.
You remember seeing
I heard a baby crying.
Have you ever maybe crying with them?
Yeah, so I
Really?
see this. I just remember a baby crying and seeing someone I hate.
Okay, this is an interview. So, tell me about the person in the cave.
So the person's in like a red black cape.
Yeah. How big a person?
I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Man,
Was it in?
a man. Tall. 6 feet. And sleep. Songs. Well,
I just remember being like in a room in a corner or something. I hate in front of me.
was he in the corner or you?
Oh, the man was in the cape in the corner.
The man was in a cave.
And the cape was red and black.
I thought yesterday, I think we were reassessed that Gannon got up and was in a cave. Is that,
I don't remember Anthony. No. No.
Josh, do you recall?
yesterday, I mean, I thought that it was again, and it came, otherwise,
I never wanted to begin.
Yeah, it was a man.
it was a man that
Yeah.
rose up. And where was Gannon?
I don't know.
And it would help if I talked directly with Maria, who she relates. And she could probably control it. She said, I thought. So that, it's better to worse people talking.
She would never talk.
She would do that. Or they, well, it's, I mean, would you want to just kind of fade into the background much? And I'm going to go to is there something else? Should we all that's next to the thing? That's a really terrible. Let it go here.
No, they just always be.
Oh my God. What is it? What?
It's a good spot to pause it. We pause it at 17:31.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take our after.
But you let this side every time they leave.
Yeah, he has that sit down on that. But.
And
So. Marie? Marie? What is caught your attention there? What do you see? Did they go? Marie, I think it's not what we need. Which story is letter? Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Marie? Tell me that. In Maria too? And what language it's in? And what is that?
How many?
What does it mean? Okay. Kind of weird. It's really, it's, we just.
Did you want me?
They,
What do you want me?
you should read that.
What do you mean?
No, just the,
Or,
or up here. You see my hand?
what do you want me?
I want you to tell me what it says. Can you translate?
Or I can.
Okay, can you translate? Will you translate it for me?
I can just. Doctors. I forgot to.
What is the letter?
I forgot to. And both of them do.
And one minute,
What's here? And what's it?
too fast. So you can read it.
I forgot to. Yeah. What is the?
I voluntarily,
Self-defense.
self-defense, yeah. I confess, in self-defense, what did you do?
Kill me.
I had the impression that if you don't want Letecia to be blamed for what happened to her, that you feel you are more powerful and more in control than she.
Maybe it was.
You told me, for harmony, what's her name? Oh, what's do you think, harmony sometimes means people not sounding out of key with each other? Keep just wondering whether or not is important whether there's small harmony was arrested, harmony was elected. And how old is her? Initial. And who was it? And who's it? In that. Pardon? Leticia's bad. Leticia's bad or Leticia? Bad is or something. Respecting. Molested harmony. And Leticia. Leticia. And who's harmony something? And it is a different harmony. Yeah, for me, just for the words of the mother. Then you said harmony is a baby. She's 10 years old and she was molested by her stepmom. Gannon was not. And Gannon was molested by a stepmom. By who? Which who, like molested Gannon and Harmony. I understand. Molested Gannon and Harmony. And Harmony is 10 years old. When was Gannon molested? And he was 10 years old. And what was his last name? I don't know. How do you know about this? Maria, how do you know? You know, Letecia? How did you know? And she wasn't going to help. She was going to handle it herself. Letecia, yes. She's in hand, so. Oh, she like really proceeded. They probably got to, well, just kind of putting two and two together. So they to Michael. She's been handling herself. I'm confused. What is like? What is like what? I don't know. You don't know his name, but you know his first name is like this. And he bothered again. How did you? Did I bother him? I thought you said that he left you from. No. Harmony spelled that in the face. I thought that was the same one. No. Who was the Harmony standard? James. Oh, my James. The one who molested Letecia. Tell me about the trip to Florida. I did not go to Florida. Pardon me? I did not go to Florida. You didn't go to Florida. I thought that you, after Gannon died, you said you were the one shot. I did not go to Florida. Why? Because why would I go to Florida? To Florida? Because Letecia went with Gannon after he died. I had to talk to you. Well, what did you do while they were in Florida? I was doing my jobs. Like what? Taking care of other people. Really? Getting rid of them? You know? What? What? Think about money. I think a lot of money. I did I do? My money laundering. How do you want to win? Through what? I can tell you. You've seen us. Have you ever killed anyone? In Mexico. Yeah, we have. That's not enough matter. Who? Someone who was going to Letecia. Who is going? Someone who was going to Letecia. Hold him. Heard of him. Who? What is it? Her job was going to go around. The job was done.
So you've really been her defender for a long time, of course. Yeah. Nothing, of course, about it. Not too many do that. Just a dog. Do you have family?
I don't need them.
Did you read them?
They all die.
Really?
You should know this.
What?
You think I would go around protecting people going in without having a vaccine?
What's that, sir? You don't say.
Of course not.
So, why did Letecia take Gannon down?
She did not know.
How much did?
No, she did not.
What makes you think?
Because I already confident. I mean, you do not. I mean, you do not.
As I understand it, was found down here.
I mean, you're wrong.
Are they?
Apparently you're wrong.
Oh,
You're wrong. That you do not know.
pardon me.
You do not know.
No.
You don't know.
Do you know?
I know people.
Why did she get rid of Gannon Stauch?
She did not do that.
Who did? Did you?
No, a lot of people, like I said.
Or
I know a lot of people, like I said.
so did you get something? So you got something to
Like I said, I know.
tell me. After Gannon was shot, how did Letecia get into the what is that a kid? What? How did you manage her?
If I didn't get to the hospital,
For him, she was not strong.
Lena tried to help her. Lena tried to help her.
Later tried to help her. Was he only there when he came?
And of course, Lena was there.
And what did Later do?
She helped her into the farm.
What are they called?
No, she was eating.
She was what? She was a child. They grew up.
No, not the picture. But you see blood. She wondered why there was blood everywhere.
Yeah. So she wasn't there when you
I don't know what I'm saying.
she stayed asleep. It's my understanding it's you that you shot the man with the cape. Is that correct? Correct. Did it turn out to be that?
Not to later.
How did it happen later? How did it turn out to be later?
Later on, it was happening. But it was supposed to be.
I don't get it.
I had to figure out what to do with it later. Once it was scanned, figure out
I'll have to hear it.
the colors of prints, the puppies and some eyes. Figure it out, you know.
So there were two people there.
No, I had to call some friends to help me out, you know.
You to pull some things they don't have to do what?
To get into the body.
But where the man in the cave?
We don't have a man in the cave. I thought it was the man in the cave. It's not.
It was again.
But after the proceedings.
Do you have any idea why, yeah, in your recollection, you were at the time, seemed to be a man in a cape?
I don't know.
That's wonderful. Just like you figure out the news. Here, Letecia showed that Gannon was on that blanket, right? Do you see Gannon blanket? Do you think that he could have stood up and put the blanket around him so that he looked like the man?
There could be a possibility, but to be was a cave. But to be was a cave.
Yeah, but I was wondering because then it turned out to be Gannon. And you meant to only shoot a man with a cape. What did you think he was doing? What to shoot?
He's going too far, but you see, I did that purpose.
And then I was thinking,
Why would a man be in a house with a cave?
no, do you
You allow men in normal to cave?
think I've ever had a man with a cape
Or would you go for males in normal?
that I didn't know? Probably well like no.
When did you find two different things? I
You mean you should?
Correct. I'm special training. In my house.
Who were you in your past life?
I told you I can't tell you about my family.
And that would tell me if you told me about your past life. Can you put me in touch with somebody who could tell me about why they took Gannon to Florida? Tell me some of the reasoning behind it.
Because I've been Letecia first.
You have to.
Protect Letecia. Yes. That's not a long job.
So if somebody were to tell me that Letecia was someone else perhaps put in the car and went to Florida without me protecting her, that would be getting rid of them.
I cannot be very trouble. The protector first.
Yep.
Sociopath. If you know how to watch intelligence. I think it's evidence. Doesn't matter who it is in the end. We're not gonna cry for It's what happened.
What is going to do?
But then they did it.
How do you feel about talking with me?
Are you,
And I'm what?
are you a threat?
Oh, what?
A threat?
Dirt? So,
Threats.
a threat.
You're a threat.
I'm this. Yeah. I do my best to help reduce you.
So, and then we threat.
But
If I had emotions,
yeah,
I can cry.
you can't.
If I cry,
You lose your power.
so if I add myself to you, get rid of the body, it's easy. That's all.
Can Letecia well?
Sometimes. She tried to become better, she cannot. But I'm
When did you first come to Letecia?
a very long,
How old was she?
maybe 16, 15, 16,
It's not that long ago.
she's pretty old.
What was going on with her when you came?
She doesn't have to listen.
Pardon me?
She doesn't have to listen.
That doesn't quite explain why you came.
She gets herself in a lot of trouble.
What things that she got herself into? What
She
she
doesn't bad at all.
yeah, and what she did?
She doesn't have to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
Gets herself in one of the problems she should be involved in. She's stubborn.
What was going on with her thing was you say that you help her. So there must be something she needed help with. What's that to her people? You sizing me up? Interesting.
You don't really know.
I don't know what.
You don't really know what's going on.
No, I can kind of wonder if she has a lot of mistreatment by then. So it certainly makes me wonder if someone was mistreating her. Is that
Do you really know why she lives in drugs?
why she is?
You do really know why she lives in drugs?
Why she does?
Why she lives in drugs?
Oh, why she doesn't like drugs? Why doesn't she like drugs?
Because her stepdad trying to start selling her drugs.
Selling her?
Selling her for drugs.
Oh, jeez.
Which is,
No, it's it. James the Jackets and selling her?
being right to her did not succeed. That's not.
What was that under her?
He was making her drive around the car and getting drugs for him. But didn't try to get her expanding her drugs. Is that he was.
Did she not do? Did she?
No, she did not.
How did she know?
She didn't know how to have the board.
She hit him with a board. Who?
James,
When you saw that boy, when the man was cooked with the cake, he had a hole at the top of his head. What I was wondering is, if you were anything, kind of mistake him or see, Hit him on the head with a board or with something.
You hit his head on the road,
He hit his head on what?
on the road.
On the floor? I don't think you've seen that.
Picture of like that. He hit his head on the road. There was a baseball in the floor in the mud.
You have to jump upside down.
It was on the floor. There was baseball sticking out on the floor. That's where he hit his head. Just on the body, just talking. That's what happened. He hit his head on the baseball on the floor.
Doesn't fit.
Okay, that's just what happened.
Look at him, picture it. He hit his head on top of his head on the floor.
I don't know if it's all that is.
He was like, oh, yeah.
That's all it means.
So James was trying to sell the distilled. In when he was a teen. What would he do?
He laid down cocaine.
Yeah.
And she was driving around with the cocaine.
He didn't go out either.
Which is right. There's kids in the back.
Who would do? Yeah.
Babies in the back.
Why baby? Well, that's it.
She has siblings.
That's so.
And Titi has siblings.
Didn't understand.
And Titi has siblings in the back seat.
She said that, so she didn't know her. That's it.
Julie.
Julie. How old is she?
I don't remember how it was. I wasn't there to protect her.
For how long did she have to? What's to do some chains
For the year.
and then have to like that?
Just beat him with a board.
And so
She beat him with a board and he got
she beat James's board. Where
in his home. Usually.
when did he die?
No, she was a sibling. But he did not know anymore.
Was it really you? Yeah. What makes you feel? Because it didn't when Harlan go along, when they were going to Florida. Harlan went along with her, did she know? Wasn't she?
I think she did.
What? I think she did. I think she did. Yeah. How did she know?
Nothing. She not gonna
Did you know that Gannon was in the back?
No. There's no guy in the back, no one. Someone else help. Someone else help. I read the coaching. I called different people to know. I don't know why this is hard for you to understand.
Really? From what I understand, you see her go over there to Florida, and then after she got rid of the suitcase,
And she said, not do that. I already told you, I had someone else to do that.
well, whoever was, put Gannon in her suitcase and kept him there, and then we went to Florida, and then you dust him off the side of the fall bridge.
I need to kiss like that. I had to do this, yeah. And she did not do that.
Hmm.
And I had someone else to do that. I already told you that.
I think that's someone else.
One time, I already told you this, but if he knew that, she wasn't aware of that.
But she was down in Florida,
Of course she was.
so what was he doing?
But she was going to move to Florida.
He's not,
She was going to move to Florida.
he was going to move there, they want.
That's her same place.
I've never seen that.
I don't know who we last got out on.
Do you think she'll tell him?
I don't know, maybe.
If you let her, then he can be let her.
What would you get away from? I mean,
That's good to know. And when,
I don't know.
and if he was on his,
Everyone.
he was the worst of us. Since she's in Florida. Yes. You know, you say you don't have any notes or anything. It'll just, there's a DC about what happened to get.
Ever trying to close up a video that
You stop. And she wants to kill herself because of what happened to her.
every day,
Oh, my.
you try to push yourself down the tunnel. Push yourself down the tunnel. It's a cheat.
That's multiple.
Multiple things.
Multiple things.
Doesn't mean that they had running hard, goes to head open.
If she goes to kill herself, would you make a deal with me? 50% and not like her?
Or there was something that we can,
Is all the part. How old is she trying to
try to put safety for food,
I feel
we try to put Visine
lazy and
for food,
working
the poison for food,
here.
and
What happens?
no,
Did they find it?
but they didn't even,
Pardon?
I don't think they found him.
Another related, something they tell.
No, they did not snitch.
There's probably one thing. So, realizing.
Should they jump off the top there?
To jump over top too.
Yes.
And what happened?
I think, and what you jump. Would you just throw it down the,
Where did you?
I threw it down the step.
Yeah. So that she would hurt herself. Why did she hurt herself? Every time.
Why would you think so, man? You have someone like me who doesn't care, don't care what other people, this is for the good. But you have someone like her,
But she thinks that she did it.
you have someone like her who don't care.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Maybe, here, coming in. How do you do it?
I was driving to run out of someone else's hand.
Yeah.
And it went off. Someone really good shoot on,
You, oh,
but I did the bill. But I was looking back at shots.
well, plus, here's another kick was Gannon. It's not, what did you,
My first thought was to get rid of the bottom.
and then,
My first thought is to get rid of the bottom.
that was your first thought, correct? So,
And for me,
I think they,
I don't need my social life. I don't carry my social life, snitch on my socials. And probably, so something past too,
I think you read a lot.
I don't read it all.
You don't read it all.
No,
So where do you get your kind of psychiatric conclusion? So I did.
and I'm not training the rest of them. Long time ago.
Different life. How many months? Yeah.
He's a professional, we should find that out.
Are you?
No.
Yeah. You know, it seems to me that sometimes when you want to do right, like you seem to care about Letecia, that your thinking is kind of wacky. And she gets blamed for stuff that is really pretty wrong.
No, it's very rarely.
But this is a pretty serious thing.
What are my odds? They're very, very slim.
What else?
Usually I never call for any things.
Well, in this case, she takes the blame. That's perhaps why we don't get caught, because someone takes the blame.
But I always take over her. You think the times that I take over her and I rescue her versus the time that I make a mistake, say outweigh.
You take over her. And
The good always the bad, and
here you go. What if you tell me the good parts? You take it over for me. That's really all.
from the very beginning, I'm gonna say her like multiple times. The good always the bad. If I had not done those things, she would not even be here today. So what does it matter? If I make a mistake, what does that matter? I mean, you have special powers, but I'm not perfect.
Well, I'll say, oh, I mean, this is a.
Right? Do you think I had to make a mistake?
I think
Do you think I had to make a mistake?
you,
Do you think I had to when I make a mistake?
no, I can't understand the word.
Do you think I had to when I make a mistake?
Yes.
Do I like living when I make a
Who's like
mistake?
everything, do you? No, so what do you do yourself?
Try harder this time.
But you say that the good you done for myself. When she was in, what did you?
I didn't start helping her until she's old.
I said,
I didn't start helping her until she was old.
how old was she?
A teenager.
And where did you do her?
I took her from James.
And how did you do that?
He threw her in the pool one time when she could not swim.
I said, that's
He
true.
threw her in the pool when she could not swim.
You threw her in a bullet, she was like,
She could swim right away, go, but she had cracks. Leg cracks. Yes, they did.
how do you say that?
Or the leg, well, she was broke.
Did you? And he threw her a bullet. Tell me, where does anyone else know about this? Like the bullet.
Happened in Georgetown, South Carolina.
Who was there?
It was at Miss Pearl's house.
And
Brenda went there to Pearl's house.
I said,
Brenda went to Pearl's house.
I,
Brenda,
Brenda, we all went. I don't know Brenda.
I don't know him.
I don't think so was Brenda.
She's going to Letecia.
She's what?
Can I go to Letecia?
She tells her. Does she sometimes take over?
No, Brenda's her family.
Do you know any Brenda?
Yeah, that's where the teacher's at.
And she says that Brenda has been helpful.
He went to go to Pearl's house. Pearl's house is where they got Pearl.
And do you know Pearl?
No.
And that's where she saw her. And he was her James.
Kirk.
So besides you.
Maybe I speak to Pearl.
Can you do that? You know Pearl? Or you
We
know?
don't know.
What do you?
I don't know.
We don't know what you do.
Okay.
I can ask Grace.
And
She lives in Georgetown.
so they have the house what you do.
Stay there.
They do.
He laughed and thought it was funny.
Then he's facing.
He's dead, right?
So he was great.
Of course.
When else did you know?
They're in the car and tried to kill herself.
When was that? Was that? Tell me about the car.
She tried to kill herself and she ran off to get her food.
And did you do anything to help? What did you do?
I have to get out of the car.
Get out of the,
Cross safety.
what do you do when she wants to kill herself?
Well, she's been quite that she must live.
Somehow she tried to kill herself and
She thought she saw her friends in the car.
she thought,
She saw her ex-husband in the car.
was he the car?
She thought she already saw him.
Really?
So she told the Jeep.
Who knows her about when she's very old before you came?
Who's the doctor?
Does anyone know her?
Who's the, yeah. I don't know. She has.
Could I tell friends when she was in? Why did you say, because she did not have any. She did not have anything. She didn't have a bottom. Maybe that one might be involved. There you have other info. Yeah. And you? I did, they died. Of what? What they died? I told you I would not tell you. Did you kill him? No. But not what reaction to? Sounded fun. So you have lots of secrets. It's kind of understanding. You know, this time it looks as if Letecia's going to get the blame for stuff that you were involved in. I was so predictable. How would you protect her? Someone wants to hurt her, I was going to. And so, I was going to try to work her, I was going to protect her. And how do you protect her from taking the lead in all of this? That can't hurt her. It doesn't cause her physical pain. Is that the only kind of pain you protect her from? Yes. What about the pain? I can control that. It's interesting. And you two have limits. Can we do anything for you? No. Think about it. It's a pretty good call. Yes, these people here, they have any questions. I don't answer to them. Let me see the last one. Do you have anything you'd like me to ask?
Who are the people that helped get Gannon in Florida?
That helped.
How did Gannon get to Florida?
What's that? Special right. What is the question? Who helped Gannon get to Florida? I called them from that, I told you. I called them friends, I told you. Well, I remember they have. And then she went up to Stepmom. Who she? TC. I told you my involvement in this. I told you my involvement in this, and I have to tell you who I called. Why? This is not important. Well, that's what you already said she would take the blame for that, but I'm not going to tell you who was involved.
Well, Harvey makes that.
That has something to do with me.
Because they didn't charge Harvey. There's something you can charge Harvey.
How do you feel about it, Harvey? That has nothing to do with me now. I'm just asking you. How do you feel about it? Letecia. Even from Harley. Excuse me? Even from Harley? I don't think it's a Harley she needs me to, but I want to live with Letecia. You would protect her. No. Is someone toss? Yeah, attitude. God. You want what was it? Because I didn't unwise that. There wasn't trying to toss him out. I never said that. They were not trying to toss him out. What were we doing? What do you think? Some good balance. They were not trying to toss him out. But he went. So you wanted to give you a good say what the person told me? You know, that's not how I get it for what? Absolutely. Yeah, so why did you hear? Person was saying because they did not get the money. To get rid of the money. Yeah. There you go. With it, for money, would have cut me. Correct. It would have been disposed of the one. So what did they miss about there? The money didn't come out also. Like I said, I'm not giving names, so the money did not come out. So, as far as you know, she went to Florida to have other people. She was not in the right mind. She did not do what she was supposed to do to get the money. She was not in her right mind. What kind of state with you? I don't know how to control the state. Well, you said she wasn't in her right mind. Because I told her to do something that she did not know. What did you tell her? She was supposed to be the guy to get the money. Yeah. And she did none of that. What did she do instead? She was crazy, driving wrong routes,
There's nothing for her to drop from school. No other her, she was supposed to be in the right place. She did not need the right place.
Okay, so it's the wrong route.
Correct.
Yeah. So it was, no big deal with all.
Correct.
But
But I
then
made it.
you made the deal and where could be this from. But still, I don't think she did get rid of all. It was,
They just told you, she did not need the people. The people were here, they did not have their money.
I know, but somebody tossed the body out of the car.
Correct. And they didn't have their money. There was no money.
If they tossed the body,
Yes, she never had the body.
maybe she did.
She did not take the body to North down.
Who took the body?
Or you just asked me this question. They're not accepting the truth.
Well, I'm confused.
They're not accepting the truth. She never had the body. So she found stupid.
But there's,
There was no thing, there was no evidence of her having the bodies there.
wasn't there evidence? The suitcase wasn't a big,
That's not evidence of her having the body from her missing crime.
no.
The suitcase with the body, according to Hardin, was in the van.
No, that's the thing.
That's what Hardin says.
Or from her weapons.
And then the suitcase was found a mile away from the hotel that she was staying in.
She did not think it was trying to join you. There was no bill. The people did not meet.
I mean, Gannon get all the cuts on.
Or the fire.
No, they cuts.
There was no bill.
There were cuts.
I don't know anything about it. She asked me years. That's not, I think it's because it was something personal. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what that is.
That's a cut.
I don't know.
So there's stuff that even you don't know.
I don't know this. I did not cut anyone. I don't. I don't know. No. I did not cut anyone.
No, that's a, somebody hit him with something. That's a cut. That's the bull.
Whatever you put, I'm going to put it.
That's somebody hit him with something.
When you shot her,
I already put it up.
when you shot her, did you know that?
I already put it up. I don't know if it was what. I already put it in.
You did not.
Correct. When I got this,
Yeah, but oh, listen. Did you think it was the devil?
no, I did not know what was happening. And then straight around and people gave you the answer you wrote down. Yes, so we went on 6 foot.
But person you know I did. No. How did you feel when you realized it was Gannon?
I told you I did not know it. I know that I recognized it. And I told you I did not have emotions no more. I did.
I don't
No, I didn't say. But sure, I
know. I think they can do that.
don't think it's.
One of the feelings that I have at my point.
I don't have any stuff. I didn't say nothing. I'm sorry that it happened for Letecia. What? Because of your hair. And if she's upset, I'm upset.
You get it? She could say, no, we suggested, underneath that, but could be the song. You do. You acted with it, and you're so good at staring puppets. Everyone. But, I think that you feel bad when bad things happen to Letecia.
Maybe.
It's good song, you know? It's good song. Do you know anyone who knows, why they didn't have to farm and who helped carry the, do you know anyone who could help you?
No, I didn't brought it. I told you I didn't.
Or,
I told you I didn't.
because of these people, but I mean, do you know who, like, who helped carry the plans? You don't.
She already told you that she will take the trial of it out. She already told you. You do not understand. She cannot know who the people are.
You don't understand how serious that is. You think this is a joke? It's not a joke. Those are petty charges. Do you think this is a joke? That is a, you cannot tell on these people. I don't think you guys are understanding how serious that is.
You mean they would kill me?
You don't understand. It's not funny. It's not made up. It's not a delusion. It's for real. The money wasn't there. You can't snitch. I don't understand why you don't get that.
Can you tell me what's in Letecia Valley? Who all of these very
She doesn't
charges?
have family. What is falling to people?
Among friends.
Do you think she went around the teaching Saturday? What is wrong with you people? What else do you think she was doing? Do you think it was legal?
At least that's how she got away.
Do you really think it was legal? You want me to sit here and tell you this?
No.
Okay. Okay. She did the bad things to bad people, to good people, bad people, none of those.
I know.
She's definitely not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
She's not gonna definitely tell you that. Most other people die. She's not. That's a part of the piece that you cannot ever know. Because someday happen.
Do you get a judge for the situation?
No.
Because I mean, I'm saying that
You guys live in a perfect world, and it's
kind of big time.
you live in a perfect world. It's not a game. You don't do games. You don't do that.
But you're saying that there are very powerful people behind.
Absolutely. When it comes to that part, absolutely. If you answer to what you want to do, but I would never give you answers. Cannot.
Well, we don't really want to know who these people are. We just want to know how. Yeah. Or we got into these kids. Yeah. Who is 60? What if it's not strong enough to do all that? So,
That I, what's the because I'm strong enough.
so we do that.
Maria has enough powers. You not see me. You not see the muscle that I have.
So you're saying that you could not.
I could do anything.
Do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Do you know anybody who would help without getting that gun?
Remember this concept. Okay.
Yeah, cuts on his hands and his arms and his chest.
Anything back. You don't have patient as a bad thing.
No.
You promise.
Absolutely.
He had enough in his head. Didn't always. I was something okay. But it's not over the night. If I did the ass, I was like, that's why I always studies. It wasn't a bad thing. You won't believe it back.
You say here,
Yes.
what kind
So,
of equipment?
statement.
The kitchen knife?
Yes.
How do you get it?
I don't know. But I didn't know he had it inside.
Mhm.
It's her name. It's what was in it. I was down in
How do you get started?
something. Stuff. Even this. The Lord gun. Studies.
You pulled it with a gun and then
What told away with the gun. Studies. She's on Kevin. Would you put it with the bank? You dropped it out and it was ever found. I don't know. Do you know? Was it bad? There's probably a picture.
They weren't necessarily looking for that, because they didn't know that he had the cuts on him. He was found for a month and a half.
And they noticed one with it, with that over there, so blood on the.
Yeah. Who could have done that?
Everyone. There's a few other guys that it was Gannon. And she was screaming, screaming. We have to listen to that. Clean the room, she was speaking that. If we do all that, then they don't have it. It's not real. This thing really happened. If we just clean it all up, this thing really happened. She had to just fix it, make everything back pretty the way it was, nothing was real. And she said, we have to go to the hospital, we have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, and
And she was trying to take him to the hospital, and Lena was picking up Spy to go to the hospital. So Lena was taking the body instead to the hospital to take her. Lena
is that me?
Lena was taking the body to go upstairs to the hospital. He was just laying there.
It was really that fast.
God was making his son. Trying to breathe. It's just trying to get him to breathe. They him up because could not breathe.
She was,
Nothing seemed to take him off.
so she didn't mean for him to be dead.
No.
How did I, or did you, when you shot the gun, who did
There
you,
was Irish.
and who did you say?
The person when he came out of his arm.
But you didn't recognize him?
No, it was a really tall man.
Did you think it was James?
Thought it was someone in the cave. He could have been a monster. It could have been anyone.
Who was the one who kept, case?
James.
James, yeah, but,
I think it was James.
The big army.
pardon?
Big army.
I still don't understand.
Harvey thought it was James.
What,
Did Harvey come out?
That's the big army. It's for me.
the baby from,
It's army.
Did Harvey hit him with anything?
I don't think so. Shit, I don't know. So they had no right to. No right to forget at all.
With Harvey trying to hurt James?
but how he was a little baby.
She's 10. No, I was trying to.
I have a question, it's like seeing, you know, I don't know, but, as you were. Still teasing this one, but would you ever hear?
It was a different one.
What's that?
I wasn't. Was not with her.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is, it is very, very, very common for someone who extends from all things that Letecia so, because if you start writing, much of their lives, they hear a big crying, sometimes little, I think you saw, I don't know if he referred to baby, but he was always brought an baby in a tree, like very early on, toward river time here, big whale. And it seems to be, have I never heard the name Hardin before? What did you,
Can we talk to him?
what,
Can we talk to him?
Yeah, that's what he's yelling.
people, or you go back to Oregon City, what do you,
It's going to be so mad.
where did you,
It's going to be so mad.
okay.
No, she'll be so mad.
Why would you do that?
She didn't want me to tell you that. Yeah, and she didn't want me to tell you because she doesn't want me to be treated as bad.
You must have felt the need of it. And indeed, even.
Why did he have a knife?
Sometimes cut the knife when you think it's like. It's like that. Do you reckon she's over this?
Would it ever think he's gonna hurt me?
No, he would say he's so different than her. He's so different than her. Even though it's the guy who for that.
For the night.
And then he's about mother always try to get enough for it. So she's going to last week. So she didn't want anyone to know about it. She didn't want anyone to know it's all good is that she don't be anything else. But I don't think it was bad, it wasn't bad. Feeling easy, what happened?
Again, that's
My mom was regular, Spanish part was just to grab a weapon, it's not. It's bad.
what is this?
She did not put the mark on him. No, she never marked him.
Your next one.
What is this thing like? To be able to share.
Stop the tape. It's the time,
Okay.
so that you can get some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Lewis, how are you doing? Yeah, you want me to help you?
I got it.
Okay.
What is it?
Just want to turn the TV up. And I'll turn the lights back on.
Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Lewis, I want you to do the best you can just to answer my question so we can get through this quickly, okay? Is that fair? This Latin confession that you talked about in the beginning, you lost that, right?
And it is, don't know where it is.
Even though you asked to have copies done, you never found that confession again. Correct.
I was unaware of it. So it was on.
Okay. Now, do you still think, having watched this video, that it was a good idea to have Mr. Cellini in there with you?
Yeah.
You think it's appropriate for Mr. Cellini to plant the seed with the defendant that it was James that she actually shot?
I don't think that she planted any seeds. I don't think that she came up with that. I think that I appreciated watching all of it was how extremely confused it was, how it was. I think that it did help for him. It's so complicated for someone who knew much more of all of the details.
It helps his theory. And when he asked, do you think it was James? That helps the theory of the defense, right? That somehow she mistaken a little 11-year-old boy for the stepson that's been, or the stepfather that's been dead since 2004.
I'm not aware that this is his theory.
Can you explain why at one point the defendant could not see or hear Mr. Cellini? You had to repeat a question that Mr. Cellini asked. And then when Mr. Cellini asked about Harley, she answered it, no problem. How does that happen? Did that not go according to script?
I don't know what the script is or what you're referring to. I don't know why it's, what meaning that has. We did not know what had happened.
When she was pretending to be Maria, she said, I can't see them. Do you recall that?
I don't recall pretending to have, by the way, seen a couple of cases where in one iteration or and either blind or also true hallucination.
And then she was somehow cured and could see him and answer questions, no problem.
This happens. It is well
fluid.
described in literature, and I've only seen it.
Why did you ask the defendant if she thought it was a devil or a demon?
Simply wondering. What did you?
Looking for evidence of psychosis, perhaps?
Oh, I'm not looking. I am not looking for evidence of anything. I'm trying to understand what she perceived. Because I know no evidence that she hated Gannon, so that she harmed her in any way that I could find a precipitating cause. I wonder, since it is fairly common for people kind of dangerous or frightening thing, it apparently have some notion of some creature in a cave, that it was neither here nor there to find out did she see something different, and it did not seem to affect what she said. She clearly does not know clearly what was going on in her.
Or she just doesn't want to tell you, right? She just can't bring herself to tell you what she did to Gannon, could she?
Well, I think that you're correct, that something about what had happened there that is unacceptable psychologically. I question about it. She did it.
Well, and here's what I want you to consider, okay? This whole story about her acting in self-defense and Gannon having a knife and she thinking that it's crazy ass James or whatever the heck his name is, and shoots him. And then it turns to self-defense. And it turns into someone gets rid of the body. It's just her not being able to tell you what she did to Gannon. Is that true?
Cannot tell us what she did.
And here's the flaw in your theory.
What is my theory? I'm not
The
sure.
theory that she had a different personality and Maria, the sociopath, did this murder, okay?
No.
You can't explain,
no,
doctor,
that is
you
not my
cannot.
theory. Do not,
Well, what's your theory? You're saying she's legally insane.
yes, my theory, again, ill, and that she hallucinates, that she's delusional, and that her line of thinking is confused, addled, and frightened, but I don't have a particular theory that she killed this person for that reason.
Why didn't you ask her about why she gave Gannon an excessive amount of hydrocodone?
I didn't know that she gave that.
Do you think that's important?
Only if I know for sure she gave somebody that.
You read the autopsy report? You know it's there.
I know that he had this. I don't know who gave it to him. I've many cases where children have excessive amounts of poisonous things in their food, but there are many different reasons why.
Your Honor, those are my questions. Thanks. I have no further questions for this witness.
Redirect.
I'll try to go. Dr. Lewis, how are you? We're going to rehash everything, but I do want to clear up just a couple of things with you. One, in regards to the EEG and the emails that were shown to you, as far as you saying that let's hold off on doing the EEG, that was at that point in time. Then you indicated that you want to do the evaluation first. Recall that from the emails?
Well, that there were other things to do, and it was not something that I was going to get hung up on at that moment.
At that point in time. And then in a report that you did for the court on February 12th, in that report, you put down the need you thought for both an MRI and an EEG, correct?
Correct.
And you recall in relation to this court, the issue being that this court would not give us any more time to get those things done. Are you relating that to you?
I'm going
What I
to
heard was that the court refused to
Sustained.
raise it. I was told.
Yeah, I have an objection.
Stop.
Okay.
The objection was sustained. The witness will stop responding to a question when an objection has been sustained. The jury will disregard the witness's answer. You can ask another question.
All right. Moving on to some of the other stuff. The district attorney on his cross insinuated some stuff that the motive for killing Gannon was somehow that Ms. Stauch wanted to move to Florida. Does that make any rational sense?
Not to me.
Can you think of any way that brutally murdering Gannon would enable her to move to Florida? Can you think any sense how that would fit into any plan to move to Florida? Does that make any rational sense whatsoever? If the definition of insanity in Colorado is that a person is incapable of distinguishing right from wrong with respect to an act, would that change your opinion on Ms. Stauch being legally insane at the time of Gannon's death? That last part that we were there, the interview, that was the last kind of part of a long 3 days of interviewing Ms. Stauch, correct? Had I expressed my frustration that she wouldn't account for taking Gannon to Florida, or she wouldn't account for the stab wounds?
Objection or cause for speculation as to what Mr. Sweeney was thinking.
Had I expressed that to you?
He said expressed, so I think,
Well, then it's hearsay.
well, can't repeat what Mr. Delaney has said, but maybe you should move to your next question, and I can see where you're going.
Was there ever any attempt by myself saying by myself to try to get her to say something specific or some type of theory or anything like that I had done with you? Okay. If you were aware that those videotapes were all going to be turned over to the district attorney, You're also aware that I have had years plus of confidential communications with Ms. Stauch. Are you aware of that?
I assume that assumption.
And if I was going to do something unethical, as they seem to be implying, wouldn't it make, I would have just been able to do that confidentially instead of on an open video.
I'm going to object to that form of question.
Sustained.
If I was trying to feed her a story, it wouldn't make any sense for me to do it in that setting where it's recorded, would it?
No.
In any of the materials or anything else that you have looked at, is there any other rational explanation as to why Ms. Stauch did this other than the psychotic episode? Any type of motive?
I'm unaware of any or any motive that makes any sense. Why he became a victim, what happened to him.
The state hospital has diagnosed her with borderline personality disorder. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Are there similarities between borderline personality disorder and DID?
Objection, Your Honor, beyond the scope of cross.
No, allow it.
Are there similarities between borderline personality disorder and DID?
Yes, they are.
What are some of those similarities?
Well, many similarities. The reality, what is real, what is no. Difference in ability to way between or feelings.
If Ms. Stauch had sometime in the years preceding this event had Googled, "I don't like my stepson," will that possibly explain the rage in which this homicide occurred?
I don't know.
Yes. Are you still firm in your opinion, your expert opinion, based upon almost well over 50, 60 years of practice, that in your expert opinion, Ms. Stauch was insane at the time of the death?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Do you have you learned lots of things over your experience in interviewing and evaluating people with DID? Over the, what, 40, yes, over 40 plus 50 years. Have you learned at picking up on subtle cues? Have you learned, or on your experience, that is it unusual for alters to have almost fantasy type lives?
I would say it's a definition of the. It is a fantasy.
Are, in your experience, are the alters perceiving reality as a rational person would?
Thinking of oneself as someone other than the everyday person that we need to know. This is a fantasy, often a very changing, different, altering kind of entity. It's not a consistent, a typical life history with ordinary relationships and family ties that go on. As you saw here, it can vary within the period of time you're following with it.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lewis, we're getting close to the end of the day. Is there anything last that you think is really important for this jury to know or understand about your diagnosis?
That what you call it is so much less important than what you understand about it. What you understand about it is that this individual has been living a psychotic life unrelated to reality, related to the way you or I or the rest of us experience reality, that it changes. It has been often diagnosed as You, when people question whether association has any of the signs, symptoms, behaviors as what we call schizophrenia. Visual. They're very odd relationships, inability to sustain going. I don't care. Call it. It's that the person is living psychotic life and stimuli that by and large are typical of her, but not stimuli that the rest of us perceive.
I have an objection based on that last answer with regards to what we received in her scope of that had been stricken.
Mr. Tellini?
I mean, I think that was in her report and she was expounding on what she had seen in the video and what was going on.
Well, I'm going to allow it. I'm also going to end this answer.
Okay. And then lastly, Dr. Lewis, just one other question that I had. Would it then, if somebody was suffering that type of mental illness, would it be possible for a daughter who has been with them most of her life not to be aware of it?
That's a tough question because to be aware of it would respond a whole. Yeah, I can answer that. Excuse me. Not to be aware of it. To be aware of the term dissociation, not to be able to conceptualize psychosis. That, of course, is possible. But just to say not to be aware of it, for certain psychiatrists.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lewis.
All right. Do any of the jurors have any questions for Dr. Lewis? Looks like we have passed all of them forward and retrieve those and counsel approach, please.